I'm glad. I know you mentioned that it was, little things like that that
Mhm.
make you feel wanted. So
I I do appreciate that a lot, actually, and I'm very happy that you listened. That means a lot. That you listened and you acted.
well, it's something I'm working very hard on. So I'm glad that you are taking notice. Everybody's not as fun when Piper and Caden don't have
Well, it's
anything to
really
yell at
good
each
to
other about.
hear that you two have been making that kind of progress and, things have been okay.
So, actually, I think we have something we could talk to Honey about.
What would that be?
So, we were kind of just talking about, you know, how you feel when people hit on me all the time.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Um, and that also goes along with, you know, like how that makes you feel and stuff. I kind of want to know like where your head's at with it.
Mm, I don't know. It's hard to really pick and clarify or pick out the qualities and the things that when it irritates me versus when it's just something stupid, right? I do feel like sometimes you still kind of instigate it a bit in some situations.
Can you tell me one that sticks out in particular?
I mean, the whole thing today with a certain someone.
Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
So, does it does it make you uncomfortable because you think I mean it, or what is it that makes you uncomfortable?
Not necessarily that you mean it. I just think you say things sometimes that lead those people to believe that you reciprocate how they feel instead of
Mm-hmm.
shutting it down or being passive. Like honestly, like
Mm.
if people hit on you, like, and I'm not around, or it's sort of some sort of little like SBS thing, like I could care less. Like obviously you dancing at BH too. Like I don't mind. Like make that bread, make that money, do what you got to do. Even in those situations when you're dancing at BH, like I know you got to say things and do certain things that like is gonna get you tips, but
True.
it's outside of that when you kind of instigate or say things. I think that's when it kind of
Is that when it bothers you more?
yeah yeah I would say so.
Um. Well, here's a big question for you. Actually, I have a realization. I feel like it would be. I feel like I wouldn't play as much into it. It's not something I'm used to receiving on a normal basis.
I
So I feel like if like the behavior and the way I was treated tonight continued, then that would stop.
well, I mean I know we've had this conversation before. I've
Mhm.
given the same concern and you've given the same answer, so.
Mhm. Yeah. All we can do is,
Can I, can I,
stand firm on our ground on it.
can I rebuttal with that?
Yeah, of course.
You have seen firsthand that Ricky doesn't give an absolute fuck about anyone he dates. So if you're seeking validation from Ricky, that is
No, I
the
don't want
last
validation from Ricky.
fucking person that I feel like you would want that from.
No, I don't want validation from Ricky at all. That's not what it was. But I mean, like you said, it's been the same song and dance for a while. I feel like until both of us really are ready to own up and push forward on what we both said that we wanted, I think it'll continue to be a nail that sticks out until we grab the hammer together and hammer it in. I'm ready whenever you are.
Oh, it's, if you haven't seen from today, it's something I'm working on, so.
Yeah, it was great. I had a really good time today. And I felt really good actually.
She also, despite
But
Kaden being kinder, she's still
circumstances that have been happening, some of the stuff was unavoidable. So. But yeah. Well, I think we're of the same opinion.
I kind of, if you don't mind me saying this, I really want to kind of give props to both of you. From my previous sessions with both of you, communication was a little bit of a hard thing to kind of wrap around and find a common ground with. But from like hearing you two talk about this, even though there's a normal conversation, this has happened before, this is a conversation that you both have had, so on and so forth, you can really hear and tell and see the difference from back then to now, and it's just really nice to see. You two are very patient with each other in this conversation, just starting off, but then on top of that, you can tell that you both care about each other's thoughts and opinions on it too, and you're hearing each other, and it's really, really good to see. I'm very proud of both of you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with where we've come from. I think in the beginning, our communication was a little spotty. And I know I definitely, when Caden would bring some things up that I did wrong, I would try to find ways to work around them and validate why I did what I did, even if it was wrong. And there was no way to have a saving grace on it. I've done some not okay things, and I feel like nowadays I'm more willing to admit that I was wrong than I was in the past. And I know that some of the things I did make me not a great partner for those things, but all I'm trying to do now is do better and, be better.
And that's what really
I hope that works.
I think that's great.
Caden, do you have anything?
Just that I think that I have been too. There's been times where I've been too, I guess, too harsh or too want to say asking for too much, but just discovering that I need to have a little bit more patience with you and not really jump down your throat as quick and give you time to adjust.
I appreciate that. I know the two of us, we both squirrel in different ways at different times. And you're able to, kind of like flip your switch a little bit easier than I am. I think it's harder for me to flip a switch to go into a serious kind of mode because, and Honey knows this isn't a shocker. But as a gang leader, it's just hard because I feel like my attention is spread everywhere. I don't get to wake up and just focus on one thing. I wake up and I focus on 6 phone calls, 20 text messages, 5 calls over the radio, a job request, and a bunch of other things. And it makes it incredibly difficult to, kind of put my day together because I'll give my attention to X and then Y will come along and then Z comes along. And then it's just a fucking giant cycle where I've got to pick and pull and pick and pull and pick and pull. And it gets hard to lock back into one thing because I'm so used to the multitasking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, we've spoke on it before. It being number 1 and number 2, it takes a toll on our personal relationship because I feel like we can't be husband and wife. We're always 2 leaders. And when we try to pull away from like things like this, we start getting phone calls. Someone screams they're getting chased by cops or they shot a cop or whatever, and then it's, we gotta revert back to
we gotta stop and go help, and
mm-hmm.
It's like the moment we step off that radio, it's the world sets itself on fire. So, I mean, it feels like we don't have a lot of choices sometimes. And I know you get upset with me because sometimes I can't focus, or we do start doing something and then another thing pops up. It's just hard because I feel like if I don't take care of the thing in front of me, like the thing that just randomly pops up, I'll forget or I won't be able to do it. And then it leads to me forgetting the thing that we're currently focused on. It's very hard.
No, I mean, I understand that. My mind